Alright, so let's do a quick analysis how I traded Dr. Reddy, say for example, on an intraday basis, and I'm going to showcase how you can also use these tactics for your purpose. So I'm not going to use any indicator because that's not what you require. So for any intraday, normally I use a 5-minute chart, and the only indicator which I normally believe in, and for all my intraday purposes and for all of my short-term swing trades, is nothing but where is this indicator? Just a moment. This is indicator, right? So the only powerful indicator which I use is the VWAP, and this is one of the very interesting stuff. So here you can see that whenever you have so this was the on a 5-minute chart, this was how Dr. Reddy worked out. So one of the very important things which you have to see is, and this is around about at this point of time, I tweeted about how Dr. Reddy is in my list, and the reason was, you can see from starting of 9:15 till around about 10 o'clock, so it was never touching the VWAP. So this basically says that there is a huge strong buying happening, and as a result of which this is one of the stocks which can actually give a good intraday run. Of course, the market is so there are two aspects you have to consider: both the market as well, how the market in general is behaving versus how the stocks are behaving. So from the tweet which I did around about at 10:20 a.m. in the morning on the last Friday, so I actually did say that the Nifty is looking good and it can go towards 10,300, and it made a towards closing, it closed around about at 280, so just 20 points shy. So I knew that a long trade would actually be a good stuff, but I was actually waiting over here, and then you will normally see that there should be a long sort of after a good move, there should be a long consolidation phase happening, where all the weak hands, they should be moving out, and theoretically then then actually the stock movement will come in. So this is what I did roundabout over here when it was roundabout at 10:55 11:30, roundabout this, it was trading in a very narrow zone, and theoretically this was a very good chance for me to enter into a long trade. I entered a long trade over here, and then eventually it collapsed, and this was interesting because throughout the last 1 hour it was able to hold this level of 95,4195, and it broke 95, and you can see there was a volume over here. So what I did was, I had some delivery long positions, but in order to hedge myself in terms of, because you never know how this is going to turn up. It can very well be that all the positions which were created over here, all the long positions, they start booking out, and this eventually the stop losses get triggered. So of course you should also hedge yourself. So I already had long positions in delivery, so what I did was I created some short positions in on an intraday basis, because I didn't have Dr. Reddy in my portfolio. So what I did was I created some shorts, and then eventually you can see that after there was no follow-up of this red candle, and it was again trading. So this actually gave a very good idea that very soon breakout will come, and so I had a very small stop loss over here for my intraday short positions, and then eventually it broke from 4200, it went towards 4300. There was a good 100-point move which we got when it was trading around about over here. I said I am closing all my intraday positions, and this is exactly what I did. So a few things, just a short video. One of the things is, if you see such a structure where the stock is not at all touching the VWAP for the 1.5 hours, this actually showcases that there's a good momentum, and going forward it can be a good trade. Right here you can see Dr. Reddy earlier, so there's a lot of VWAPs. It's trading around VWAP, so basically these are not tradable on those days, and this is also true over here. There's a lot of VWAP touching happening, but theoretically, if you ever find a stock on an intraday basis where you see such a pattern where the VWAP is never touched in the first 1.5 hours, then going forward definitely this is going to be a good move on an intraday basis. So just as a showcasing, so here you can see what I did was I created some positions in Dr. Reddy. It was roundabout over here, and it was roundabout on these levels. So when I created the positions, I knew that If this 4295 gets broken, then I will create short positions, and this is exactly what I did on an intraday. I created some short positions, and then eventually when the move came and this was consolidating and there was no follow-up, I would have created more shorts if this was getting violated, and theoretically if but there was more shorts, I would have created more shorts if this VWAP was also getting violated, but it never happened. So here you can see that in this way you can also hedge yourself. So options are not the only way. Even with your cash trades you can make money. So here I created some shorts which was actually a hedge against my positions over here. If a generic weakness would have come, then definitely I would have closed my delivery trade and I would have created more intraday shorts, and I would have, at the end of the day I would have created more money. And this is exactly what I wanted to showcase here. You can see my shorts, I had a loss of 600 rupees, and when I created all the delivery, I made the trade, the profit was more than double triple. It doesn't matter here. What I'm showing is just a 4500, but there's also some other digit in front of it, but that's not important. This is how you should be trading intraday, that whenever you see a potential good candidate, you should always create your positions, but you should also hedge yourself in any way, or you should be able to get your stop losses when they get triggered. You should always get it triggered. So eventually you can see at the end of the day, the whole purpose of the trading is you should be generating more money, and if you are able to control your losses. See, I could have, because here this was a very good move here when it was consolidating. So here I was very pretty much sure that this will eventually get broken, because you can see the size of these candles are very small and there's no follow-up. Of course, if this would have got broken, then I would have created a lot of other shorts, and maybe I would have also closed my long trades if it broke the levels of 4136. Thanks a lot for listening. Hope this video is going to give you some intraday trading ideas which you can use on a daily basis. Bye bye.